everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Infinity Nikki video. Today I'll be giving you 15 of my biggest beginner tips and tricks. I have been streaming this game here on YouTube and a ton of you have come in to ask questions, so I kind of wrote down the stuff that I get asked the most and I feel like you should know if you're just starting or have been playing for a few days that you might not know about, because there's also things that I found out about later. So to help you out as a beginner player, now without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting off with my biggest, bestest, most important tip I can give you is about gems. Do not spend them on anything but the limited gacha. And even in the gacha, do not spend it on the permanent one, because you will accumulate the currency for the distant sea over time while playing events, giveaways, logins, battle passes. These are way easier to obtain. As you can see, I already have 100 ready. But for the Blooming Fantasy, we are at a whopping 21. So do not spend on anything else. I know sometimes tempting to maybe spend gems to get more stamina in the warp spire, or materials maybe, or converting it to some other sort of material. Do not do it. It's not worth it. You will regret it. Moving on straight into tip number 2. Also about the limited banners. As you can see in the top, I have 21 and I have 33 of what seems like to be the same currency for these pools. However, the one that I have 33 of have a little timer next to it, because these will not last until the next banner, which means you will have to pull for these. Do not waste them. It doesn't say here specifically what will happen when the time runs out, if they just disappear, but I've heard people say because Love and Deep Space is being made by the same company that they might just be converted to regular blue ones in the end. I can't say that for sure, so don't count of it, but spend it while you have it here, and then afterwards you can decide for the other ones. The regular ones will be able to be going over to the next gacha, so if you are saving these and you don't really like them as much and you probably want to pull for the next banner, save these, pull then. That's how you do it, but always spend these because these are times. The timed ones were obtained for me through events, so I think in the future they might do that even more, just to keep people pulling and give away pulls that they can save up. I don't know yet, but I'm expecting this to be more thing in the future as well, so make sure once again to spend them. Tip number 3. If you are done doing your pools and you got a few new items, but you also got a ton of duplicates, it's time to do something with all the apps that you got, because they get auto-converted. You cannot get more than one item in your wardrobe. But if you go to the store, which is here in the corner, you have the Surging app and the Tranquility Droplets. This is again for the limited banner and for the permanent banner. Every month you have the option to redeem these basically duplicate currency for new pools. I highly recommend you doing this. Start off with the purple one, I would say, and then go for the blue one, and then the same is even for the limited banner, so you can even get more pools without really spending gems if you have done a certain amount. Do not sleep on this category. There's also other stuff in here which I think is a waste on doing, because you can basically get this so easily just in the world where you just spend a little bit scouring for items. So do not redeem for any of these other ones. If the month is over, you will just keep the amount of apps that you have anyway, so you can just do this again next month, so you don't have to do as many pulls every month, if you get what I mean. Don't forget to do these. Number 4. What is the fastest way that I can grind out as a free-to-play to be able to doing these pulls? Let me tell you. I think the best thing you can do now is do main quests and side quests, but that's obvious. There are a ton of chests all over the world that I think people already have made guides on. So even if you can't really find them, just look on Google or like on the Discord server or Reddit. There's probably some guides out there for the chest. And the mini games. You can see here the mini games will look like a little checkpoint. You get gems for completing it once and then doing a perfect clear. I think 10 for regular and 20 for perfect clear. I think something like that. It's not that much, but if you do all of the mini games, that adds up. So just go around all of these checkpoints. Make sure you do all of these. Even if you're not that far into the game, I think maybe day 1 or day 2, you can already go to the first area of Stoneville, where it's also have mini games. So don't forget to do those too. And here at the bottom, there's also a bunch of stuff, and especially chests are in here in the southern area a lot. So make sure to check those, and that will give you like a huge boost in your gems. Just keep in mind that this is kind of a one-time resource, because the next time you have a full banner that you want to do as a free-to-play, you might not be able to do it. But if you want these kind of sets really badly, I recommend grinding out all of the mini games as soon as possible. Number 5, collecting items as you go. This makes a lot of sense, but I want to emphasize on, as you're playing the story, pick up stuff that you see, but taking priority in the petting of animals. You will unlock this outfit after the first quest. They play the story through there and then you unlock all the outfits that you need. But the animals have some sort of cooldown. I have not figured out how much this is, but as you can see, I can pet this doggy right now. So let me do that. And when he's done, he will have these little flowers blooming over his head, which means he's like satisfied with his care. And you cannot interact with him to collect materials in real time. It seems to be at least a day for me, I think, because I've come back the next day and then we're still shining. This will be very frustrating if you never collect this and you suddenly decide that you want to bunch craft all of these items and then you can't find them because you've already just petted all of these animals. So I think it's important that as you go, you see any animal, pet it as you go. Also, some animals, if you need to hold it down to kind of walk up to them, because else they get frightened by you. They will get a little question mark over their head. It's the same for the whim stars that look like an animal. You kind of crouch up to it. The same is for the insects. You can sometimes just catch them, but for some insects like the Sako, you need to hold it down, crouch, and then attack it because else they will get frightened and walk away before you get a chance. But again, these animals, they take, I feel like, a really long time to recharge fur, so make sure to pet them. Number 6, how to jump. I'm going to show you a quick jumping guide. Surprisingly, this is more complicated than it seems. I think there's quite a learning curve in this in the beginning. I also struggled a little bit and I was very frustrated with the jumping because I thought it was just wrong, but guess what, it was me. So let me show you how to correctly jump. This will be on PC. On mobile or PlayStation, I think it'd probably be around the same, but I'm just gonna explain the PC way. So Nikki can jump if you just press spacebar, but if you hold it, she will go higher. And another thing you need to know, if there is a ledge, as she bumps to get against it with around her kneecap, she will take the benefit and glide upwards, so she can go way higher than you expected. So let me, for example, show you this big wall, which is like double Nikki's size. We can still, if I run up, hold spacebar, boom, we're up. So I recommend going to the guild, trying this a few times here. You don't need to double jump in order to get there. You can see, let me try this again in slow-mo almost. See, she just kind of like decides that she wants to go there anyway. And this makes a huge difference in the first step that you have to take, because for some of these whim stars, you kind of have to get like exactly there. So the technique will be walking off, holding spacebar, and then right as she dips, you press the second time. Do not rush this because you will miss out on space. So if you had any trouble jumping, I really hope this will be helpful, because you just gotta hold it just a second that feels too long and then you can get way further than before. Number 7, there is a secret dress at Marquise, which is the coin shop near the Stylist Guild in the main plaza. And you can see the dress right here. It's very Cinderella-y. You can get this dress by buying every item that is in his shop. I feel like you don't have to rush this, but just know that there's a fun thing at the end of the road if you do collect all of this, and if you want it, make sure to buy all the items here. Number 8, make sure to spend your stamina in the realm challenge. You can go to any of the teleports and press F to enter the realm challenge. There are 5 different ones. The realm of breakthrough is, I think, for evolutions, but I have not been able to unlock this yet in the beta either, so I think this will be unlocked in the 3rd world. I'm not sure yet. I don't think anyone has this available right now as of recording. Are 4 different ones. They all use the same stamina that you can see in the top right corner, and this will regenerate every one per 5 minutes. It takes forever to recharge, so don't waste any by having this meter full all the time, because you're gonna need this in the long run. Let me quickly go over the 4 different ones. I've done this a few times, but there is definitely a priority you should take. Starting off with the Realm of Dark. This is fighting against Bday for different types of Bday material, bedrocks that you use for crafting. But so far, I think you only use this for crafting, and I think you should put this on your priority list at the bottom, because you don't need to be crafting all of these items right now, and it's quite expensive sometimes. If you need like 15 of these materials, it will go like half of your stamina right away, right? Then Realm of Escalation. These will give you these 3 items which are needed to upgrade items. Upgrading items means that you raise the level for one particular item, so you can get a higher score when you using this in a styling battle. This is nice, but there are better ways that I think as a beginner you should prioritize for boosting the score than doing it on specific item, because if you're not using that specific item, you're basically wasting those resources in that one styling battle, if that makes any sense. Because there's also the Realm of Eureka, which I think is my go-to, and I would recommend you focusing the most on in the beginning, because this makes such a big difference in your styling. So the way this works is you play a little mini game for about like a minute and you get a bunch of Eurekas in the reward, and every Eureka is basically like a scorecard that goes on top of your outfit already, and you have all of these different designs, like you have the stars and you have the hearts and you have cards and snow and everything, and each of these has a different tag that have a higher score in, and you can also upgrade these. So you kind of want to have a ton of these because you can basically combine all of these to upgrade one to a big one. So for example, I have this one which I already have at level 10 and it's Elegant Double S, and then for the hands category I have this one on level 10, but this one is Sweet Double S. So you kind of want to get a ton so you can combine them into one and have like a really strong card. So this is kind of how you can get good styling scores fast, because again, if you are specifically boosting one item and you're not using that item, it's like you didn't boost anything. But if you're using these Eurekas, you're always going to get a better score. So I would say if you are a beginner, focus mostly on the Eurekas and getting more and collecting them. Then there's also Realm of Nourishment, which is pretty important. This is to get more insight per category of all the main activities basically, and you will need a higher insight to be unlocking a higher ranking in the Heart of Infinity. As you can see, my fishing is still level 1. You can unlock it with the Whim Stars, and then every other item will be an upgrade. So this one will just be an item, so you will need at least 300 fishing inside and some money, and of course the Whim Stars. And the next upgrade will be for me, so to be able to catch essence for high quality fish, and essence is often used in crafting. Again, it's important, but it's not as important as Eureka, I think personally, but this one is also one I would put like a second on the list of most priority. Inside you can also get by fishing regularly, so as you can see I've caught 49 fish already, which gives me insight, but there's a cap on how much you can earn a day, and it takes forever if you're going to do it for 300. So in the Realm of Nourishment you can basically trade in some items to get a ton of insight. I think sometimes 150 or 250 insight per item that you give the little guy for each category, but again, this is quite expensive. I think it's also like 40 stamina or something like that, and don't rush this one too much, I would say. But of all of these currently, I would say Realm of Eureka and Realm of Nourishment are most important, then Escalation, and lastly the Dark and Breakthrough will come whenever that gets unlocked. Number 9, make sure to stop by Kylo the Cadenceborn. He is the dragon that's responsible for all of those purple little orbs you sometimes see around the world that you have to attack, and then you collect them. If you don't know what the purpose of that is, that dragon is a little hoarder. He wants all of them. He will be at the memorial mounts up here, and he basically collects them, and if you collect a certain amount and you give it to him, he will give you a blueprint. So basically you can get I think 3 more outfits just from him alone, and after the first time that you have kind of talked to him and kind of unlocked that segment and you have enough, it will show on the map here, as you can see in the bottom, that you have collected enough to get a new reward. So I have 53 out of 40, so let me quickly show you what that looks like. He will always be here. There's no negatives for doing this, so I do recommend just giving it to him. As you can see here, I can offer this to him, and there are several outfits available. Also, I think outfits from Momo if you would like that, and if you're free to play, I think that's the only way you can get outfits from Momo currently. Number 10, how to unlock Glow Up. Glow Up is what I was just earlier talking about, the ability to boost certain items in a score. For example, if I were to upgrade this specific hair and I would add more to it, it would cost us 3 materials that we saw in the teleport, which again can be nice for some items. I do recommend doing it for your higher rarity items because they'll probably get some crazy book. As you can see, the sweet will be 1,000 instead of 350, so that's great. But this menu will not be available straight away. Again, make sure you play through kind of the first day as much as possible from the quest, because there will be a cap until you can't play anymore. Make sure you do that first. Then afterwards, go to the Stylist Guild right here. There will be 2 people just like so standing here, and on the map for you, when you haven't done this yet, there will be a little styling battle icon. You can see it right here too. This is what the icon will look like. There will be 2 there, and you will have to battle one of them. And if I remember correctly, afterwards it triggered the menu for me to unlock the glow up. If you've been playing for a minute and you still don't know where the glow up comes from, make sure to battle any of these 2 guys, and I think then you will unlock it. Number 11, fragrances. If you haven't heard of this is because it is not part of the main story, and I had a really long time before finding it out. Let me quickly show you what it looks like in the wardrobe. We have wind fragrance right next to the ability setup here at the top. I currently have 4 for hair oil, body spray, and hand powder, and these all have specific boosts for attacking, since you can't really upgrade fighting just like you can with fishing and like animal carrying. This is, I think, the way to upgrade fighting. They aren't that crazy boosts, but they can help a little bit. But in order to unlock this, there will be a side quest, and the side quest should be on Flora Wish right up here on this row. There will be a guide that will have that first quest for you to do. So go there, do that quest, and then you will unlock the first fragrance, and afterwards you can do more quests to get even more fragrances. In the Heart of Infinity, it is here, this bow on the right. So you start off with the purification outfit, and then afterwards you get the Traveler's Musing first perfume, and there's a ton to collect. You can only equip 3 at a time, but this is something I found out about way too late because I didn't know it existed. Make sure to do this side quest so you can slowly get started on just getting more. You don't have to speedrun this, but make sure you do it. Number 12 is more about boosting your score in styling battles, because also in the Heart of Infinity, underneath our perfume here, we have this whole row that you can see I maxed out already. It's also for styling boosting, and this will be just for Whimstar. So if you already collected a bunch, I highly recommend just getting this whole out of the way. As you can see, my stats boost is 6% to all the hair in the Wishfield styling battles. Here all the socks and the shoes, so basically boosting all of this. It will also unlock some really cute blueprints. So the second one here have these really cute shorts, and if you were thinking, Hemi, your dress is really cute, where's that from? It's still a second to last one in this whole row. Very cute. This will be an easy way, especially in the beginning, to boost your score very quickly, so you can get a lot of styling battles, so you can get more rewards. I'm pretty sure you didn't need any insight for this, so this is just a easy farm for high score level. Tip number 13, using the map to track items. If you are looking for a certain material and you have no clue where to find, you can go at the bottom right corner here. It has a little map with a flower on it. This is a menu for most of the materials, so you have flowers, animals, insects, and fish. Enemies, unfortunately, you cannot track. Let me quickly say that first, but I noticed they're always kind of in the same spot, like here at the top they always are, here on the side they always are. And then if you want a really good farm, go all the way south, and like this whole area here is basically always swarmed with enemies, and I think this will be my go-to farm. But let's say we're in Flora Wish. I need, for example, let's say some of these weave spiders. I say track, and it will show me the closest to me area. So there are more spots, but this is the one that's closest to me. If you go here and collect everything, the circle will move to the next closest material spot. So if you can just kind of keep going until you have all of them. But this will be the one closest to you. If you want an even faster way to do this, again, this is on PC, so I'm not sure on any other devices. If you go to your crafting menu, and I'm, for example, short on these feathers, if you hover over it and you press T, it will open the menu and you can immediately just track it, and boom. There you go. Very, very easy and fast. Tip number 14. This might be also a one-time use, but I figured to mention it. If you fill out the survey by going on escape, and then at the bottom here, it will have a little icon. If you click on this, it will open up a questionnaire. I think it is about 50 questions about the game and your gameplay experience. If you fill this in, you will receive 100 gems in your mailbox later that day. Either way, I highly recommend filling it out because you can share your gaming experience, and I feel feel like they really do listen on player feedback. If there's anything really bothering you, make sure to mention this, because overall this will just greatly improve the game. The more people that fill it in, the more data that they have, and the more that they know that they can improve. Tip number 15, let's talk about evolutions real quick, because it can get a little bit confusing sometimes. Evolutions is when you recolor a item or a set to a new color. It doesn't seem to be anything besides cosmetic. The score for me seems to be the same, so if you just like the visuals, it will be different. Some of these will use different materials than others, so let's start off with the ability outfits. As you can see here, it will cost 7 of the calm thoughts. You got this at the beginning, so I already upgraded one item, that's why I have none. You'll be able to get this from the locked category that's in the teleport that I couldn't access. Again, I don't know exactly when you will unlock this, but this will be quite a lot later in the store, so if you still have these, make sure you kind of pick and choose which one you want to do right now. The gacha dresses also will be able to have an evolution, but this works a little bit different. So the first time when you pull for a full set, you will just complete it. You can select it here in the title guidance, which one is your preference one, so you're kind of like locked into it. So every 20 pulls you get a guaranteed new item from that set. Once you have completed it, you can reselect it if you want to, and then you can re-pull for this. But you don't have to get the second or the third color, because these have all 4 different shades instead of 2. After you pull the set fully once and you want the second color, you will need something else than the currency I just showed you. You will need these hard shines. You can just get these by doing pulls, so eventually you will get a few. So the first 2 evolutions will cost 1 hard shine, so you can get 2 different colors. But if you want the third color that's at the end, you will have to fully pull for this set again. So you'll have to reselect it as your set and then do all the pulls every 20. You get a guaranteed, and then once you complete it, you will have enough to do the evolution. One thing to note is that for the limited banners, this works the same way, but these are item specific. So as you can see, this one has the dress of the Flutterstorm inside of it, because this is for the Flutterstorm dress, and it says here can be used for the Flutterstorm evolution. So these are tied to the set if you want to do that. And then my final bonus tip here is make sure you log in every day. To progress the story, you need to unlock your stylist rank to be able to do more of the quests, but you're only able to get 500 points every day for your daily wishes here. There's no way to get more than that every day, so you kind of want to do this every day so you don't get stuck by the time that you really want to sit down and play for a couple of hours. So even if you're not really into playing that day, I still highly recommend doing your dailies, making sure you fill this up, because it'll be way easier to advance later on, because else you just kind of have to cap yourself out every day and it's not really as fun. There are a lot more tips and tricks that I could give you, because there's so much to do in this game, but have the fun kind of exploring. I might do another beginner's guide in the future, but I feel like these are like the most key elements that I wish I knew when I started, and I hope will help you a lot too. Subscribe for more Nikki content or other fashion games. I play a ton of other fashion games too. There's a ton of other fashion games out there too with just as good quality, trust me, okay? Make sure to check out the rest of my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!